Welcome back to the channel, investment family. My name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. Today's video is an exciting one. It is the first of many in a weekly series where I go over the performance of my portfolio every Friday. The idea being that I am investing over time into my brokerage account, and I really want to track the performance week over week as I dump more and more money into this account. Obviously, the goal being long term to hit $1 million and kind of chronicle or show that journey over time. Before I jump into that though, first a word from our CEO. Hello there, viewer. My name is John Jonathan, CEO of Force the Investors YouTube channel. Now, I know that pressing that like and subscribe button can take a lot of effort on your part, but just think of it as an investment in your financial future. We highly appreciate it and thank you for your support. Now, let's get into this video. Thanks, John. Really appreciate the support, buddy. All right, folks, let's get right into it. As of today, again, it is October 9th, as of the shooting of this video, my total account balance is at $11,264. Super excited again to be over this $10,000 threshold, having just started this account for this channel. So this isn't, again, all of my money. This is just really showing the journey or the power of compound interest just by investing consistently over time. One of the best ways to achieve financial freedom is just through consistent action, right? There are tons of ways, tons of businesses that you can do where you can 10x, 100x your money. But one of the most proven and easiest ways to actually build wealth is just through consistently investing, $5, 10, 50, 100, $500 every month, putting it into an index fund, and over the entire period of your lifetime, you'll eventually accumulate a ton of money, and that's what I'm doing here. So let's start at the top. Currently own 3.6 shares of Apple, currently valued at $117.47. Pretty happy with its performance. Its performance over this week, it is up 3%. Not too much has changed in this world. This has been pretty volatile this week, up and down. If we zoom out a little bit to a month, we can see that it's actually up 3% over the past month and 3% up over the past week. So not too much of a change there. Apple hasn't really released anything new in the past quarter or so. So really the price of Apple tends to shift whenever there's anticipation of some new product release or anything like that. Now, to be fair, I haven't really been tracking Apple that deeply right now, but they're just a long-term good hold in my opinion. Again, everything in this is just my opinion, but that's why I have some shares of Apple, and I'll continue to dump more money into Apple. Going down the list, next is VOO. This is the Vanguard S&P 500 exchange traded fund, currently valued at $319.44. Over this week, we can see they are up 3.47%. Just in general this week, a lot of crazy stuff has happened. The presidential debates, the vice presidential debates, both just happened. Trump declared that they were going to halt negotiations for the next stimulus, and so that actually shook up kind of the greater market. The market actually nosedived that day. I say nosedive in quotes because it went down like 1.5%, which isn't like a crash by any means. Regardless of the headlines that you read, they're like, the stock market crashes. A crash is like, if the whole market tanks 15% a day, that's something to sweat on. 1.5% is really not a big deal in a day. That's especially on news like that. It's not material, right? If we saw something much bigger, that would be like a material, like we should probably look out and figure out what that means. So if you're curious about this is just a great long-term ETF. Vanguard has really low cost in terms of the me thinking of words right now. Basically, their fee, their asset management fee for their funds is super low. It's like 0.5%, whatever it is. I don't know. I shouldn't say that in the video, but it's true. I don't know right now. I'll probably look it up and put it on the screen right here somewhere. But it's a really great fund to hold long term. Tesla. I own 8 shares of Tesla, currently priced at $433.78. Tesla could definitely always have its own video. We can always talk a ton about Tesla and just kind of the EV market. In the past week, though, we can see that it is up $10.49, which is a 2.46% change. pretty low when you think about kind of the volatility of the stock overall. This has actually went up and down a lot, so the 3% change kind of mask a lot of the volatility. I mean, the price changes in Tesla are crazy within just a few days. I mean, this stock swings, but long term, I'm going to continue to double and triple down on Tesla. I think the market in terms of the EV vehicle market share that they can capture is immense. The proprietary technology that they're developing just to manufacture these vehicles at scale on both the hardware and software side, it's going to give them a huge competitive advantage versus traditional automakers who are still trying to first just solve these problems. People that don't have like any type of engineering background or anything like that, it is not easy to just replicate these things, right? Even if you just buy individual components, you can't just easily replicate systems, right? You can't just slap components together, hardware components, and have the same output. There's a ton of proprietary software and all algorithms and things like that that really make things the end product that we see today on the street. And Tesla is putting all those engineering hours in today. Suffice to say, gonna keep buying Tesla. And 10 years from now, I think I'll be pretty happy about that. VTI is the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, currently priced at $177.32. We can see here over the past week, they're up $5.71, which is a 3.33% change. If you've noticed, most of these have gone up about 3%. They're all tracking pretty closely together. That's one, because my portfolio is not that diverse. A lot of the individual stocks that I have are in kind of my Vanguard ETF. And outside of Tesla isn't in this ETF right now, but even Tesla has been, they had a ton of crazy movement earlier. This stock, this total market ETF, is actually broader than VOO, so this is something that tracks a larger range of things. It should be less risk than the S&P 500, but with lower returns overall. This is something that I'm actually probably going to divest out of, because I actually meant to buy VOO when I bought this. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I could just sit on this money forever. It's just a few shares in here, so own 2.97 shares of that. Not a big deal. So let's move on to SPCE. Virgin Galactic Holdings, currently priced at $21.44. Over the past week, it is up 17 cents. So not a major change. This stock does not experience too much volatility. Not too much has changed recently. If we look at its kind of 3-month chart, we can see it's up 10%, which isn't bad. This is really a long-term hold for me. I think in general, if you're someone who's investing and you're thinking, what companies do you want to buy? A lot of beginning investors really try to make money in like a 2, 3, 4 month time window. And that's just really a bad way to play the game. If you have not spent, I would say, a couple hundred hours at least kind of studying equities and things like that, understanding bonds, understanding the way that monetary policy works, the flow of money, all of these things, you're just not going to win at that game. Like, you really need to think long term. I think the reason why that's important is because while doing all of that can make you a good short-term trader, it's actually really easy to be a good long-term trader just by buying good companies, right? I don't need to know a ton about a business to know that, hey, they're doing something that's new and different, and a lot of people are going to want this thing over a long period of time, right? It's a very simple math in that case. Obviously, there's more to it, but the individual day-to-day price swings and all these things, you don't have to worry about losing $5 in a day when you plan to make 500 in 5 years, if that makes sense. So happy with this. I'll probably buy some more of this. Just a random long-term play. I think that commercial space flight is super cool, and companies that, again, are spending time solving these problems today are going to have a huge competitive advantage. Square. I own 4.84 shares. Currently priced at $187.30. Over the past week, it is up $14.73, which is a 8.54% change. So this is not bad. We can see that they're up 36% over the month. Square is a payments company. I think they're doing a lot of really good things to make it easier for mom and pop shops and smaller businesses to receive money and just process money easier. If you don't know, overhead for small businesses is can be expensive. It's really hard, and so anything that can automate and offload that work for a small business owner really is worth the money. And so they're doing a really good job of innovating in this space and really making retail more accessible just for people in general. And retail, as there's a category, is something that is changing really rapidly in current times. Obviously, you have places like Amazon. Everybody's just buying things online, so the in-store experience is really shifting. And for us culturally, here specifically in the States, the way that we buy things, we have a lot of different expectations about how things should be when we go into stores, and a lot of that is based off of what Square is doing. Amazon. So the last holding in my portfolio, Amazon currently priced at $3,292 or $3,292.05. Over the past week, they're up $145, which is a 4.63% change. So Amazon obviously has done very well during this global pandemic. Regardless of what you think, that makes sense. People are buying everything online. They've hired a ton of workers, and I don't think this trend is going to reverse. It might slip a little bit as the world opens back up, but in general, people are going to continue to buy more and more things online. Myself, as an example, I can get like next day delivery on things here in New York City. It's awesome, and quite frankly, while I am a huge proponent of supporting local businesses, those local businesses aren't good, I'm gonna buy that stuff online, just hands down. I'm gonna do it. That's just how I operate. I'm a really pragmatic person. So that's Amazon. I think Amazon is a great long-term play. Jeff Bezos has shown and proven to be a very pragmatic CEO, has a very good eye for where to invest his money in the company. Also on the engineering side, they own AWS, which is a platform, a cloud provider that a ton of other companies build their software on. So if you don't know what AWS is, it's basically a cloud environment. They have their own cloud. And Amazon basically is selling the platform that they built to run Amazon to other people now, and it's absolutely massive, right? So there's like AWS, there's GCP from Google, and there's Azure from Microsoft, like the three big cloud providers. So they're just absolutely killing it right now on the commerce front, and as well as on the tech side as well. So it's a great two massive revenue streams there. So that is it in terms of stocks. I do own some options, but I'll just say in terms of equities, I'm going to continue just dumping anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, $2,500 a month into this account. I have other money that I'm putting into an account, just like a cash account, to buy real estate, and that's really the gist of what I'm doing with my money right now. I do have these two options options in play right now. These are both on Nikola. These are Nikola puts. I have a put that is expiring on the 16th, $17 put. It's currently worth 13 cents. This has lost a ton of money, mostly because people are pumping this. It's going to be a pump and dump. So Nikola, fraud investigations, the CEO stepped down. The CEO's getting divorced now. There's all this types of crazy stuff that's happening. But what we're seeing today, and what often happens in the end of life of a lot of these companies, are a ton of players coming in, big players, to kind of extract as much money out of the stocks as they can. And so there are definitely some weird plays going on behind the scenes. The price shot up like $6 over the past week, which makes no sense for a company with no money, making no money, no real plan, and all of that. So I'm gonna hold on to this. Lost money on it. That's okay. That's just kind of the way it is. Sometimes you play the option game, sometimes you lose. The other one, I have a $22.50 Nikola put. Same thing. Lost some money here. Over the last week, it's down $1.85. This is much further out in December, so hopefully in the next few weeks, this will correct, and I'll make some money on this. That would be nice. But I did make some money earlier on another Nikola put, so I'm not too happy that I'm losing money on this. At the end of the day, it'll probably be like a net zero in terms of these options plays. Learned a lot either way, so that was kind of my purpose with these initial options plays. I'll probably put like $1,000 you know, at stake for this, so I'm not like sweating it at the moment, but definitely gonna use the things that I learned in my next few options plays. I don't know what those are gonna be yet. I need to take some time to kind of set those up, think about market movements, things like that. Oh, can't breathe. Yeah, shooting YouTube videos, you talk a lot, like a ton, just non-stop. Gotta remember to breathe, guys. Breathe, breathe. Okay, so that is a wrap on the portfolio. Again, $11,000. Super excited about this. Can't wait to get over the $20,000, the $50,000 hold. I actually think next year, probably the end of next year, we'll break the 6-figure threshold, which will be super cool for myself and everybody watching the channel. Just be a nice little journey, and I think we'll continue to pick up steam along the way. I appreciate all of you that are part of this journey so far. Definitely share this. I have a lot of cool stuff coming. I'm actually want to create a community. You ever been this freaking stoked to have somebody scratch your body? Not me. So my cat was just running around. Let's go back. So I appreciate all of your support. I have a lot of cool stuff coming. I want to create a community of investors, really, where we can share our progress on a weekly basis and make it kind of an investor accountability group. This is something I've been thinking about for a long time. I've been like spending a lot of time thinking about like what's the best way to do it. So right now I've settled on creating a Discord server. In there I'll kind of come up with a format of like everybody posts your weekly performance, what stocks are you thinking about, what do you want to buy, why, and creating a like-minded community of people who care about, you know, building wealth, long-term financial freedom, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. I will start linking to that in some of my next videos, or maybe in the description of this video if it's there. But in either way, thanks for stopping by, and see you in the next one. Forest Knight out.